Who are the best Bengals players under 25? Do they make the list of the best NFL players under 25? Let's go. What is up, Bengals fam? It's your boy Mike coming back at you again with another Hood Daily. Got a cool little vid going on. This week seems to be the week of lists on the channel. I've been going through the PFF lists of their player rankings by position, top 32 players at each position. The last couple days I did offense and defense. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the CBS Sports released a list, which is the top 20 or the top 25 players under 25 of age. Let's take a look at that, see where the Bengals rank on this play. They do have a good young core of players. Here are the rules that they have for their list. Basically, the player under the age of 25, as long as they are 24 or younger when the 2021 season officially begins on September 9th. So that's the official cutoff on that. In their rankings, they're using basically position value weighting. So, they're also taking into consideration the value of the position that they play as well. So what I wanted to do first is take a look at who are the candidates for the Bengals to even be on this list, right? First of all, they're not including rookies in their list because they haven't played any. They don't have any evidence yet that they're a valuable player outside of what they did in college. So let's take a look at the Bengals players under 25 of age. You've got notable ones. You've got their new kicker, Evan McPherson, Deontay Smith. These are the new draft classes. I'll let you know who. Jackson Carman's definitely going to be a starter, right? But he can't be on this list because he's drafted this. He's a rookie. Jamar Chase, who's 21, is also going to be a starter. Can't be on the list because he's a rookie. You've got the punter out of Ohio State, Drew Chrisman. Obviously, you're not going to see any kickers on this list, so I don't know what the whole point is. Joseph Osai, also a rookie. He's going to be a rotational starter for the Bengals. You'll probably see Cam Sample getting some playing time as well. Now that we're out of the rookies, or not completely out of them, but let's take a look at the players that really have a shot at making this list for the Bengals, right? It's T. Higgins, obviously. Really good young future star for the Bengals in his second year, 22 years of age, so we'll be looking to see if he can make that list. You've got, let's see, just going down through here, Akeem Davis-Gaither's 23, but he hasn't had enough playing time to really be considered for something like this. You go down through, same story with Khalid Kareem. Jonah Williams would be an interesting one here. He does play a very valuable position in left tackle. This is coming into his third year. He's only 23 years old. I think he'll be 20, obviously he'll turn 24 this year. So I would consider him a core young core piece of the Bengals lineup of their player personnel group for the Joe Burrow window. Going down through here, obviously Jesse Bates, he's under 24 years old, one of the best safeties in the league, going into his fourth year. You've obviously got Joe Burrow, 24 years old, going into his second year. And going down through, you got Joe Mixon as well. He's going into his fifth year. He's still only 24 years old. He's a strong contender on here. I think the only problem is, he was injured last year, so not really sure. His player value is kind of up in the air, right? But if you look, the Bengals have a lot of players under 25 years old that are going to be seeing that are starters that are going to be seeing starting playing time, and a lot of them that will see rotational playing time. Guys like Auden Tate, who's 24. Logan Wilson is 24. Eli Apple is just over 25, just over the threshold here. He's already 25 years old. So those are the core kind of young players that the Bengals have. There are plenty more that are 25. The Bengals have a pretty young core of players that they're going to be relying on to start, right? So now let's jump into this list from CBS Sports. They're going through the league. We're going to start at number 25 here. Number 25, they have the Raiders running back Josh Jacobs. He's 23 years old. Tough to argue with something like this. He's a really good running back. I think if Josh Jacobs is going to be on here, Joe Mixon should be. But again, Joe Mixon needs to play a full season and prove he's still as valuable at that position as a guy like Josh Jacobs, right? And as long as he's healthy, he absolutely is. I would take Joe Mixon over Josh Jacobs as long as they're healthy. But Joe can't stay healthy. So you got Steelers wide receiver Chase Claypool is on here. Good for him. You've got the Bills Tremaine Edmonds, their linebacker there. Eagles Miles Sanders is only 24. Antoine Winfield Jr. is only 22, one of the better safeties in the league as well. You got the Jets Quinnen Williams, the defensive tackle, at 23. You got Devin, linebacker, Super Bowl champion linebacker Devin White is only 23 years old as well. The Panthers defensive end Brian Burns is 23, and he's at number 18 on the list. Number 17 on the list, Panthers wide receiver DJ Moore. He is just barely made it. He is 24 years old, right? And here we get to our first Bengal. First Cincinnati Bengal on the list. Top 25 players, under 25 years old. Their safety, their defensive all-world safety, Jesse Bates. Jesse Bates is somehow still being slept on. I mean, I know he's high on this list, but we just went over it yesterday. He's only number 8 on PFF's top safeties list, even though he had the best PFF grade last year in 2020 of all safeties in the league. Still, they placed him at number 8. 16 on this list. I think this is good respect right here for this list. 16's really good. I could see him moving up even in this list, but already at 24, he's established himself as top safety. One of the, every year he's going to be talked about as a top safety in this league. The Bengals need to do everything they can to lock this guy up going forward, because he can be the captain of the secondary during this kind of Super Bowl window that they're going to experience under Joe Burrow. Again, always assuming health. Moving on, you got Roquan Smith, the linebacker from the Bears. He's 24. Saquon Barkley is also 24, and he's the 14th. Minkah Fitzpatrick. I don't know how you put Minkah Fitzpatrick ahead of Jesse Bates on this list. I just don't. Jesse Bates grades out statistically. When you look at statistically, also when you look at the in-depth kind of sabermetrics type of statistics that the NFL is kind of leaning into now, stuff like PFF grading, the evidence all says Jesse Bates is better than Minkah Fitzpatrick. It might not be a huge gap, but there is, the only argument you can make that Minkah Fitzpatrick is better than Jesse Bates is you just prefer the Steelers. That's the only explanation that you can have here. But there he is, number 13. We see that kind of bias all the time. We're used to it. No big deal. Number 12 on the list is the Bucks, Tristan Wirfs. He's 22. Another one of those tackles. You'll see on here, and it's due to injuries, right? Jonah Williams, I think, should be on this list. He's only 23. He's got, but the problem is he hasn't played a full season yet. He keeps getting, he didn't play his rookie year at all. Last year, his only year, he was, in and out of the lineup with tweaks and injuries. Before Andrew Whitworth was the all-world pro tackle that he is now and has been for the last decade. Before that, he was just super available. The dude never misses games, and that's one of the top abilities of an offensive lineman is availability. Jonah Williams just got to stay on the field, and the weird thing is Jonah Williams never got hurt at Alabama. Not once. He missed like a total of like 10 snaps total in his Alabama career. Comes to the NFL, can't stay on the field. So hopefully we're looking for some better luck this year from these guys. Moving on, you've got 49ers linebacker Fred Warner, who seems like he's been in the league forever, but he's only 24. The Titans wide receiver A.J. Brown is number 10 on the list. He's 24. The Seahawks DK Metcalf, just a freakish wide receiver, 23 years old. He's number 9 on the list. Now we got Mr. Joe Burrow, number 8 on the list. This is fair, but I would put him above. You can see already who's next, Justin Jefferson. I put him above Justin Jefferson. I put him, to me, Joe Burrow is a top 5 under 25 player because he plays quarterback. He has elite talent. He has elite anticipation, and he's a super smart player. And pretty much everyone agrees that Joe Burrow stays healthy. That makes the Bengals contenders, or at the very least, very scary team to play when you need to win. They go ahead and admit it requires a fair amount of projection. He obviously only played 10 games. I think that I think that had he finished the season out and not gotten hurt, he would be like number 2 or 3 on this list. But again, the Bengals just keep getting injured, just always, and partially it's bad luck. I mean, mostly it's bad luck. Injuries in general are pretty, especially guys that just have not been injured in their career. Not saying Joe Burrow actually, has had injuries in his career, but not like the one he had this past year. Moving on, Justin Jefferson is up here, number 20. He's 22 years old. He's number 7 on the list. You got Chase Young, who's also 22, at number 6 on the list. Jair Alexander, who's only 24. The Packers cornerback, just all-world type player. Number 4 on the list, Nick Bosa. Number 3 on the list, Kyler Murray. Number 2, Justin Herbert. Which means if you could probably guess who it's going to be at number 1. Ravens QB Lamar Jackson. It's hard to argue with this, man. Dude won an MVP pre-25 years old, so it's tough to argue that they've messed this one up. But here's something interesting. That's their list. I'm not going to pick at it too much. I just think it's very exciting. The Bengals should be, Bengals fans, you should be very excited that you got 2 players on this list. One offense, the captain of the offense, the quarterback. One defense, the captain of the defense, the free safety. That's a very good sign that they're so young at those positions, but they're already considered top players. Not even for position, but just overall in the league. So this is interesting what they did. They kind of put a list together of like just missed players, and then they're, you can see guys on here: Antonio Gibson, J.K. Dobbins, James Robinson, Ronald Jones. There's T. Higgins. He just missed the list. I think that you could easily throw him on there. He had an amazing rookie year, and it just was overshadowed by Justin Jefferson having just like the best rookie year we've ever seen, right? But had Joe Burrow not gotten hurt, I think T. Higgins goes. I'm sure T. Higgins goes over 1,000 yards. I'm sure that he gets a lot more hype. Maybe even makes this list, right? But you can see here that he's the only Bengal on the list of just missed players. I think that there are other guys that you could definitely throw on there. Jonah Williams should at least be in the just missed category. From the offense, that's probably it. Jamar Chase next year will be on this list, I want to say. Just too old. You're looking at a bunch of players that are 25 years old, having just missed the cutoff. No Bengals in here. But if you look over at who potentially could be in there, Tyler Boyd's 26, obviously, so you can't be in the just missed category. They're talking about just 25-year-olds, right? And Bengals don't have any super impressive 20. I guess Sam Hubbard could have been on there. That's the only one you can maybe make an argument for that should be in this kind of just too old category here. But can you make, looking at this list of names, I don't put Sam Hubbard in the category of like Bradley Chubb and Myles Garrett and Marlon Humphrey, and Michael Gallup and Chris Godwin, Deshaun Watson, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. Like, we're being honest here. This isn't this is a realistic channel, not a just Bengals shill channel. Sam Hubbard doesn't deserve to be with those players, right? But I tell you what, the Bengals will have. Well, I think they're going to be on this list if CBS keeps doing it. The Bengals are going to be on this list for years to come because I think they're drafting well. I think Joseph Osai is going to be really good. Jackson Carman's, I think, is going to be really good. Obviously, Jamar Chase, I think, will be on this list next year. But that's going to do it for me today. Thanks for coming to the channel. Again, guys, hit that like, subscribe. Love you all. Love doing these videos. I've been Mike. This has been Who Daily.